So basically, someone who follows taqlid, who follows the doctrine of taqlid, who accepts and obeys without question the authority of Islam, the authority of the scholars, is called a mukallaf, right? Yep, emulation, true. It is emulation. It is to copy, but it does go deeper than that. And these terms don't always describe the full extent. Yes, but effectively, marakpi is, as Yasser Qadi says, don't think. And that is very, very true. It's merely to accept and obey, to hear and to obey, to resign oneself, right? And he mentions it from the Syriac, aslim, to make peace or to surrender to Allah, but also it's to give up your autonomy and accept, let someone else do the thinking for you. Derived from the stem of salam, to be complete. I don't know necessarily how true this is. I didn't look into this. This wasn't the aim of my discussion. But, well, take that for what it's worth. Further definitions, before I dive into some description of what he's discussing. Islam, the name of the Islamic religion. Muslims, the people who practice Islam. An Islamist advocates rule by Allah's law, Islamic political rule, and he mentions Sharia law, that thing that doesn't exist, that no one knows what's going on. And he specifies here that in Islam there is no separation of church and state. And this is true. I have shown you before that Islam is a deen, right? We covered this before in the past. Islam is a deen first and foremost. So there are 4 aspects to deen, and within one of those aspects, and remember that deen is about political control, political subjugation of your enemies. The deen is not faith. Deen is actually, you know what? Let's do this. Let's go to Deen. Let's actually have another run through this. This is actually important for us to know. So this is well worth looking at. So we're looking here at Deen, its meaning and scope. This is taken from the Lisan al-Arab, the Arab tongue. This is the largest, probably the largest dictionary of Islam, right? This was completed in 1290. There's 20 printed books, so this is highly authoritative. It is necessary to resort to a linguistic analysis, substantiating each of the necessary components of Deen with revealed in other sources. The first meaning of Deen is subjugation or dominance, right? So it's more than just that. Meaning is subjugation or dominance. Administrative or legislative authority, to put pressure to be obedient, or using power to enslave or make one obedient. So far, no mention of faith, no mention of religion. So understand, Islam does not call itself a deen. Sorry, Islam does not call itself religion. We call it that out of convenience. Technically speaking, the religion of Islam is maybe 3 to 4% of the concept of deen, at most 5% of what a deen means. So Islam is not only it's a political system, most certainly, but it's more than that as well. So this dintum fadanu means I subjugated them, so they obeyed me. So Muslims were subjugated, they obeyed Allah, but also the Dhimmis and the Christians and the Jews were all subjugated, and the Hindus were all subjugated and obeyed the Muslims, right? So I ruled or governed upon him. Thus the word dan is used to indicate a person who dominates and rules over a state, nation, or tribe. The second meaning is obedience and bondage. Subordination and domination by someone and bearing humiliation under subjugation. So you must be humiliated. You have to know the Muslims have power over you. And you have power over others. So this is about political power. It's about political control. I subjugated them, so they obeyed me. The obedient tribe is called blah, blah, blah. Here, deen does not mean religion, but it means obedience. The third meaning is rules, regulations, ideology, doctrine, custom, tradition, or religion. And the fourth meaning is reward, repayment, justice, accountability. So understand, this is, hi Intime, how's it going? So this is a lot more than merely what we would term religion. This goes far, far beyond that. Right, so back to this. So if you have any questions, post them in the comment, but hopefully that clarifies the difference between a deen and a religion. Islam is a deen.